Hi guys, welcome back to Kim's class. This unit will be a series of 9 lessons about the parts of speech. For many of you, this will be a review, but it's such an important concept when learning English that I feel that it's valuable even if it is a review. It not only helps you write great sentences that are structurally accurate, it also helps you expand your vocabulary. In this unit, I will be teaching articles in a separate lesson, but there are a series of 9 lessons. After each of the 9 lessons, there'll be a link for you to practice what you have learned. You'll find that link in the description of each of the 9 videos. So let's look at the 8 parts of speech. Most linguists say that there are 8. Each part of speech explains not just what the word is, but how the word is used. In fact, some words can be used as a noun in one sentence and a verb or an adjective in the next. For example, we have nouns, verbs, adjectives and articles, adverbs, pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. As I said, learning these parts of speech is very important. Even people who speak English as their native language need to practice this concept. But English sentences can all be divided into their parts of speech. When we know these parts of speech, it can help you understand much better. It helps with your listening, your reading, your writing, and your speaking skills. See why that might be valuable? When you study vocabulary, it's also very important that you pay attention to the parts of speech. The next part of speech we'll review are pronouns. Our learning objectives for today say, I can define a pronoun. The second objective says, I know the 5 different classes of pronouns. And the last objective says, I can identify each class of pronouns and use it in a sentence. Let's go ahead and begin looking at those objectives in detail. Let's look at the definition of a pronoun. A pronoun can be defined as a word that takes the place of a noun. Any word which is a substitute for a noun is a pronoun. Some examples are I, you, he, she, which, that, themselves, whoever, me, he, they, and ours. Did I confuse you? I bet you were thinking first pronouns I, you, he, she, it. Well, that's correct, but there are actually 5 classes of pronouns, and each have a different form depending on what perspective you're speaking or writing in. You can see a basic example of this in the chart on the right. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about each type of pronoun individually. So we have subject pronouns. Those are the ones you were thinking, weren't you? I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Subject pronouns. We also have object pronouns. Me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. Object pronouns. There are also possessive adjectives like my, your, his, her, its, our, their, and possessive pronouns like mine, yours, his, hers, ours, and theirs. And then the last type of pronoun is a reflective pronoun. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, and themselves. Confusing? Well, let's take apart each one of those types of pronouns. We'll start with the easy one, the subject pronoun. So the subject pronoun takes the place of the noun as the subject in the sentence. Remember that a sentence's subject is the person or thing that performs the action of a verb. When you take a closer look, you'll see that a subject pronoun is used as the subject of the verb. Mary is an excellent teacher. She is an excellent teacher. The computer is expensive. It is expensive. Peter and Tom are at school. They are at school. The apples are very good. They are very good. That's the subject pronoun. Now, an object pronoun is usually used as a grammatical object. Let's go ahead and take a look at object pronouns now. So as I said, an object pronoun is a type of personal pronoun that is normally used as a grammatical object, either as a direct or indirect object of a verb, or it also can be used as the object of a preposition. These pronouns always take the objective case, whether they're indirect or direct. There are 7 basic pronouns that take on different forms when used as object pronouns. So see where it says I becomes me, and you becomes you. He becomes him. She becomes her. It becomes it. We becomes us. And they becomes them. If you know how to find the object of the sentence, then you'll be able to find it pretty easy to identify an object pronoun when you see one. To find the object of a sentence, locate the nouns and verbs in your head and separate them from the rest of the word that the sentence contains. Both the subject and object of the sentence will be nouns or pronouns. The subject will be the one doing the action, and the object will be receiving the action. Making things even simpler, when an object is not a noun, then it's an object pronoun. Just like subject pronouns, object pronouns can be singular or plural, masculine or feminine, or gender neutral. The masculine or feminine subject pronoun is used when the gender is known. But when referring to things like weather or temperature or time or an inanimate object, the neutral form of it can be used. So now let's look at those possessive adjectives and the possessive pronouns. They seem like they might be sort of similar, as they both say who something belongs to. But there is a very easy way to distinguish between the two. A possessive adjective says who something belongs to. Example of a possessive adjective is my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. And they're used to describe the noun. But look at the example sentences. I have a bag. This is my bag. That is your cat. It is his car. Do you see how they're always followed by the noun that it's describing? Did you catch that? So much like the positive adjective, the possessive adjective, the possessive pronoun does not have the noun following it. Let's look at an example. It does show ownership, but they're words like mine, yours, his, hers, ours, and theirs. But take a look at those sentences. This bag is mine. No noun after it. That cat is yours. Possessive pronoun. If you look at the two sentences together, I think you'll see it. Possessive adjective, this is my bag. Possessive pronoun, this is mine. No noun. That is your cat. Noun after it, which makes it a possessive adjective, or that cat is yours. No noun after it. So do you notice how that works? Take a look at all of those sentences on this slide and compare them, and I think it will make more sense. Now, notice one thing, that one form of the possessive adjective and the possessive pronoun is the same, using the word his. So you have to look at how the word his is used in a sentence. Does it say his car or the car is his? Get it? I think you do. The last type of pronouns that we're going to talk about are reflexive pronouns. A reflexive pronoun are words that end either in self or selves, and they're used when the subject and the object of the sentence are the same. I believe in myself. He believes in his self. Jennifer believes in herself. So again, when the subject and the object of the sentence are the same person, we use reflexive pronouns. Take a look at those 8 examples, and I think you'll get a better understanding of how we use reflexive pronouns in a sentence. So I realize that we covered a lot of information there in a fairly short time. We talked a lot about pronouns, but I think that you probably have a better understanding of this type of speech. Let's go ahead and look at today's objectives and see how we did. Can you define a pronoun? Do you know the 5 different classes of pronouns? Can you identify each class of pronoun and use it in a sentence? I think you can. Remember, when watching these videos, you can always pause and take notes and slow it down. That's the joy of watching it on video instead of live. So that's it for today's lesson. Remember that in the description of this video is a link to activities to help you practice what you just learned. But before you go, I'd like to ask you to do a few things. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you think that you would be interested in learning when I post new videos, make sure you subscribe to this channel. How about if you think you have friends that might be interested in learning about parts of speech? Well, share it with them. I would also really enjoy if you would make a comment in the comment section. Try and write a good sentence using the parts of speech you learned today. And lastly, please don't forget what a blessing it is for me to share my passion with you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to come on this journey with you to learn English. Goodbye for now. I can't wait to see you.